Bay County Mosquito Control, a division of Bay County's Environmental Affairs and Community Development Department, begins each season with the annual Spring Treatment and Aerial Larviciding program. There are 5 main mosquito species that develop in the spring in Bay County, referred to as spring species mosquitoes. These mosquitoes differ from those we experience in warm weather months and require different methods of surveillance and treatment. There are about 20 common summer species of mosquitoes in Bay County. Summer mosquitoes, which breed in familiar habitats such as containers, ditches, and tires, won't develop until later in the year when warm temperatures and summer rains occur, normally around mid-May. The spring treatment program targets the species of mosquito larvae that are found this time of year in woodlots flooded from snowmelt and early spring rains. The mosquito control season can begin as early as February when surveillance for these species begins in wooded areas throughout the county. It takes about 6 weeks for spring species of larvae to complete development, much longer than the summer species of mosquitoes, which can develop in about a week. Mosquitoes are an aquatic insect with 4 distinct life stages: egg, larva, pupa, and adult. Female mosquitoes of the spring species lay their eggs on moist ground in woodland depressions. In order to survive, the mosquitoes will overwinter in the egg stage in anticipation of melting snow and rain the next spring, flooding the ground, causing them to hatch. Cold temperatures throughout the winter won't kill these overwintering eggs, although it can slow their development. The amount of mosquitoes that develop in the spring is more dependent on the amount of snowmelt and rain received, as higher water levels will flood more eggs. By March, mosquito larvae will already be at the water's surface, obtaining oxygen and feeding. Mosquito control staff are monitoring and controlling these mosquito populations months before most people start to even think about mosquitoes. Depending on their size, we call larvae first, second, third, or fourth instar mosquitoes. The fourth molt produces a pupa, which, unlike the larva, is a non-feeding stage, where the final transformation to the adult mosquito takes place. It will take about 6 weeks for these larvae to complete development, and by mid-May, the adult spring mosquitoes will begin to emerge unless the larvae are controlled. Beginning in March, mosquito control staff monitor flooded depressions in woodlots to determine the presence of mosquito larvae. Once larvae are observed, the woodlots are regularly assessed as how quickly the larvae are developing, the species, and the density. It's crucial that this monitoring is done, as aerial treatment must occur during a certain window in the larval development stage to be effective. The reason for this is that the product used to control the larvae, BTI, is a bacterium that the larvae eat. Second and third instar larvae feed more voraciously, and since the product must be ingested, the ideal plan is to feed it to a larva that is eager to devour food. The product is ineffective once larvae have developed into the pupal stage, as they do not feed. Once the majority of larvae are second instars and a few have begun to molt to a third instar, the aerial treatment program will begin. Depending on larval development, the aerial larviciding program to treat spring larvae usually takes place between April 10th through the 25th, treating 50,000 acres of woodlots. Calibration and aerial treatments are based out of James Clements Airport in Bay City. Before woodlots can be treated, the aircraft must be calibrated to ensure accurate treatment rates. The technique to accomplish this involves the use of 15 plastic stacking bins that are 6 square feet in area. The bins are placed on the ground below the aircraft, which flies over, dropping the treatment material, BTI. The BTI collected in the bins is weighed to determine the dosage rate. Ground staff communicate by radio to the pilot to adjust the gates through which the BTI flows in order to increase or decrease the rate to the desired 3 pounds per acre. Woodlots are inspected by ground staff during application to determine the treatment quality, ensuring effective coverage and accurate dosage rates to the standing water. Mosquito Control will contract 3 yellow and white fixed-wing airplanes to apply granular BTI to woodlots throughout the entire county. Aircraft fly low, just above treetop level, and travel at approximately 120 miles per hour, targeting standing water in wooded areas. The treatment typically lasts for about 1 week, weather permitting, as wind and rain can delay the application. Woodlots not treated aerially in Bay County are treated by a crew of trained, certified technicians in late April. Hand equipment such as spreaders or pressure sprayers are used to apply either granular or liquid products, depending on the stage of larvae that's found. BTI is a granular product used to control mosquito larvae in standing water. It's a naturally occurring soil bacterium attached to a ground corncob carrier. BTI is very effective against mosquito larvae and can be used as a food source for other aquatic organisms in the breeding site. BTI will quickly and effectively eliminate mosquito larvae while posing little risk to fish, beneficial insects, wildlife, vegetation, pets, and humans. Any BTI that may stray onto driveways or decks can simply be swept up. A BTI product label and safety data sheet can be found on the Mosquito Control website. In order to determine the effectiveness of BTI, mosquito populations in about 40 woodlots are monitored during treatment. Larvae are counted before and after aerial application in both treated and untreated woodlots. Pools of water are flagged to identify their location, then larvae are scooped into cups and counted. An average number of larvae are recorded in each sampled woodlot. This number will be compared to the post-treatment population in order to determine how effective the treatment was at reducing larval population. Our goal is to lower mosquito populations to tolerable levels, and usually the percent reduction of larvae is about 90%. Therefore, some adult mosquitoes will still emerge, so larval monitoring is continued in order to predict when adult mosquitoes will begin to appear. The spring treatment program, the start of Bay County Mosquito Control's treatment season, is essential in eliminating a large proportion of bothersome and potentially disease-carrying mosquitoes. The spring aerial treatment is focused on spring species of mosquitoes that develop only in flooded woodland areas. The 3 yellow and white airplanes will be present throughout the entire county from approximately April 10th through the 25th. We hope you've enjoyed learning about mosquito control in our community, especially about the important spring treatment portion of the program. If you have any questions or prefer your property not be treated to control mosquitoes, please call the office at 989-894-4555 or visit our mosquito control page on the Bay County website.